Whenever I see a game that has a lot of animations in it, I'm instantly impressed. Hey there broskies, it's Lupus, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the animations that we're going to see in Battlefield 4 that are going to make it that much better than Battlefield 3. I also want to talk to you guys about the audio improvements from Battlefield 4, or from Battlefield 3 rather, and I also want to touch on some of the customization just to get the point across on how different Battlefield 4 is from Battlefield 3. So to start off with, let's look at knifing animations. That is by far one of the most looked at animations, and to me it is one of the most important. Knifing in Battlefield 3 was definitely something completely different than had really ever been in any first-person shooter before. We're finally able to have realistic knife takedowns that were really immersive and made you feel BA. There weren't a lot of different animations, and after you had done it for a while, you started really figuring out that if I'm going to knife this person from this angle, I'm going to end up getting this takedown. So it wasn't very varietized, but there was more than you would have in most games. In Battlefield 4, they basically added a ton more different animations, and I'm going to try and show some little clips in the background for you guys to see some really cool animations. And to me, I think all these new animations are going to be awesome. And another thing is they have added in counter knifing, which we have not seen before, and this is going to add even more animations. So we're going to get our initial animations with counter knife animations on top of that, and it's just going to be so different. Odds are, in a game, you may not end up getting the same knife takedown over, like, more than once. You might, but I feel like it's going to be very unlikely with the different amounts of animations that they are putting into the game. Some other animations are the basic ones, such as the dying animation. In Battlefield 3, there was only really one dying animation. If you died, your arm would just fall down in front of your face as you went over, like as you fell over. But in Battlefield 4, I've seen a lot of different ones. I'm going to try, if I can, I want to put some clips in the background of this as well, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to remember where I even saw this clip. But there was a clip where a guy was getting shot, and I believe he was shot by some sort of RPG or something, and he went flying backwards, his legs flailed up in the air in front of him, and his arms flailed up, and I thought that was awesome. That's just so cool. Instead of that basic arm falling to the ground in front of you as you're falling over, it's something different. And I don't know if this is going to be like something that only happens when there's an explosive. I've heard my friend JD, he actually said that he saw a gameplay or something where a person was running and got shot and that happened. So I don't know what it's going to be, but that animation is definitely something awesome. And I just think that on top of all the animations we already had within Battlefield 3, such as the running and jumping over objects where your legs flail out in front of you, as well as the crawling animations, I think are going to make the game just so brilliant and a lot better than most other first-person shooters that we've seen. So now I want to look at the sound improvements from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4. So, as you guys should know, when Battlefield 3 was out, it had an amazing soundboard. The guns sounded great, the echoes were great, the explosions were great, everything sounded magnificent. Even today, it has got to be one of the best sounding first-person shooters that I've seen, and it's just amazing. Whenever you'd be shooting a gun and you'd be just out in the open, and then you'd walk inside of a container, a little crate or something, the sound would change accordingly to how it would do in real life, and it was really awesome. In Battlefield 4, they've taken the amazingness of Battlefield 3 sound effects, but they've made it even more realistic. One of the big ones that I've noticed, and it was big in Battlefield 3 as well, was the Magnum. That gun had a distinct sound. You could hear it across the map, and it was just a beast. But to be honest, it didn't really sound like a Magnum. It had that booming sound like a Magnum does, but it didn't really have that Magnum sound. And I don't know if you guys really know what I mean by that Magnum sound, but I figured it's better to show you guys a little clip of the Magnum from Battlefield 3, and then I'm going to show you a clip of the Magnum from Battlefield 4, and you guys can judge the sound differences yourself. So as you guys can see, the Magnum sounds amazing once again, even better than it did in Battlefield 3. Some other really awesome guns that I noticed the sound improvement on were most of the sniper rifles, and I have to say the Intervention sounds amazing. Another really cool one was the AEK 971. In this game, it sounds more like the hammer inside of the gun is actually hitting, unlike it does in Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 sounded cool, but it just didn't sound like an AEK should, and I really think it sounds amazing. And overall, the sound improvement in Battlefield 4 with explosions as well as the gun sound effects are amazing. The last thing I wanted to touch on real quick was the customization within Battlefield 4. So in Battlefield 3 there wasn't very much customization. We had camos for premium members, but they were very limited and they weren't on every gun. In Battlefield 4 we're finally getting camos for every single gun, and we're also going to be getting 8 categories with 16 camos in each. That is a lot of camos, guys. And we get to put those on our guns, our vehicles, maybe our characters, and we're also going to be able to add decals to our vehicles and weapons as well, and that's just going to be awesome, making something your own and representing yourself, and that's going to be sick. And I really think DICE looked at what Danger Close did with Medal of Honor Warfighter, looked at all the mistakes that they had, but then looked at the plus sides to it, such as the customization and camos, and was like, hey, we should do that as well. And they have added more camos than I could even imagine. Call of Duty never had this many camos. It's probably more camos than Medal of Honor Warfighter had, but I'm not completely sure. And I'm just glad that they're adding this customization level to Battlefield 4. But I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button. And if you want more great content, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.